Now, Conquest Princess, I made 9 versions of the game before we're getting to this version that's coming up that is fantastic. And I always wanted to make a game about space fashion. Have you ever seen Barbarella?
No.
Okay, so Barbarella is about a space agent. She's an explorer, but the galactic commune that has discovered peace doesn't have an army anymore, and they have a situation that requires somebody who's capable of dealing with violence, because they're all pacifists and very happy. The Galactic Center, the Galactic Commune is all on board with this. And so they send Barbarella to the planet to try to find the missing scientist. The missing scientist's name is Duran Duran. That is where the 80s band gets their name, is from this particular movie. Lots of shenanigans in a very psycho late 60s, early 70s way happens. But the weird thing about the movie that struck me again and again, and maybe I'm watching it differently as a gay man than other people will be watching it, but she has 13 costume changes in the story. Like, it's written into the story. Like, obviously it was of an era that they had to figure out this way to make these things happen. They're facilitated very straight. And I'm like, oh my God, each one of these outfits must have its own abilities.
Okay. And then bam, there it is.
And there it is. And so the original version that we took on contesting that failed was a Mean Girl set collection area control game, where you're exploring planets and trying to get their natives hooked on your social media.
That's okay.
The Conquest and Conquest Princess was a social takeover. It was sort of like, any number of like pop stars and personalities who do not need any more attention. But it was that kind of theme. It got worked and reworked. It was fun, but it played way too long. It was 2.5 hours to get through a 5-player game.
That's intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That face that you're making, it was highly polarizing, even amongst the fight fans. They loved it or hated it. If you were on board with the weirdness, all the fashion items were just hysterical, how they comboed with each other. How you're trying to outdo each other to win majority in areas. It was super fun. I might take some element of that and pare it way down to try to make it. And I ended up doing that for multiple of the versions therein. But we got to the latest theme when I scrapped it all and changed the game to a co-op where you are agents fighting for the giant robot Conquest Princess. So the fashion items stayed. The galactic industry, the galaxy that needed space fashion, that sort of stayed. But the entire mechanism of the story that I wanted to tell became wholly other.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. That's, yeah. I mean, even something like Scurvy, I playtested 4 times, right? And each time, some part of that initial idea and those initial mechanics has needed to change. One, because, you have to look at it, it's got to be fun, right? So the initial idea that I pitched in that video, it just it's a sound idea initially, and it's, it's quirky, it's whatever. But you put it on the table and it's like, wow, this is not great. So how do you enhance that? How do you keep with and I wanted to stay true to the idea of these pirates fighting over citrus, or it was oranges, and now, through feedback, it's like, all right, we'll call it citrus. We'll do lemons, limes, and oranges. Because everybody was like, well, it wasn't just oranges. And I'm like, I know that. I know. I understand that it wasn't just oranges, but oranges are a quirky thing to fight over, so that's what I want. But anyway, so, just those things. Those things change.
All right, Nicholas, you're doing a couple of things that are inherently amazing, okay? First of all, you're making things to try, and you're just out there trying them out. When you try things out, things that occur to you that you like, even if they go very poorly, in a playtest, don't let the playtest, its results be the only thing that hooks you to continuing with an aspect of your game project. You can have something that is a spectacular failure at this individual playtest, but if it triggers something amazing, it sets you off in an amazing way, you can embrace it. Like, there was this moment with this mechanic that made this thing happen, and though the entire thing didn't work, this thing I want to capture. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to the...
Yeah, nope. And what you're talking about there is something that happens in Apothecary a lot, because you have events in the order deck. So as you're pulling orders to restock the board, as people are coming in wanting orders fulfilled, you get events and you have to resolve the event, and then you can continue and you have to fill all the slots. So we've had games where it's just one event, like all 12 events are just stacked together because they got shuffled in weirdly. So everybody's just like, what? Can we get on with it? And it's like, no, you're gonna trash an order that you completed. No, you're gonna swap hands clockwise. No, you're gonna trash all the ingredients in your hand. No, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. And it's like, you know, I've had games where I'm just like, that is what I wanted. I want everybody to go, can we just not? But then there's such a fun, like, okay, knowing if you keep count and you're like, okay, we've been through 6 events, like, where are the other ones? Where are they coming from? Which ones are they? You know? And we've added those storytelling elements, so we added, like, seasons. So as you're pulling, like, there are rule changers that come out, and the idea was, like, time is passing, so you have this, like, there's autumn, winter, summer, and spring. So each one has a positive effect and a negative effect now. So as you're coming out, you can see what kind of year you've had as you've gone. Did you have a harsh winter? Did you have, you know, and it's those things that I really enjoyed adding to that, but I'm still keeping that. I've done it so many different times where it's like, okay, we'll throw an event every 4 cards in. And it's like, no, because I know it's coming. Why? What's fun about that? I don't like that. I don't want anything to do with that. We're just going to shuffle them all in, and then event. Now you can continue with your game. Thank you for coming.